So I'm using the invoice amount as a expression using. Now I want to sum up this invoice amount by the year wise or by the supplier wise. So let me select the year. So it gives the year wise the year level grand total of the invoice amount. Okay. Now into 100. This gives the spend percentage of the total spend.
Record record.
Give the stage result. Okay. Let me see the formula. Oh, basically not. We don't have to use the printer. Simply we have to use this formula. Spend by year. By so now it's going to show the column. Right.
So,
Because we haven't added the year in a report output. We haven't added year. Okay. I think previously also it is correct because we have only top 15 suppliers output.
here is the supplier.
Okay. So this way we can define the derived measures, or there is a other functions like aggregate functions, string functions, conversion functions. That functions also we can use to define the derived measures. Like for example, let me remove this as a. Now I am setting these columns for the data format as a current percentage. Okay. We can put the decimal points as well. So all the column specific data formats, display formats, all these options are available from the criteria tab itself. These options also are available at individual view level, but I advise to do the data formatting, display formatting from criteria tab itself. Now where we need to set the drill down, right? So we're going to use the span columns. We're going to use column properties. Here we have a tab called interaction. Under interaction tabs, we can set the drill downs. So by default, it is going to use as a drill only. Okay. And here we need to use as action links. Here we need to define the new action links. So just click on plus sign. So this action link will reference to the detail level reports. That's it. Slow. Okay. I'm putting captions like supply span details. Okay. And there is a multiple options. Most of times, as our BA practice, we have used only BA content as a action link. But you guys may have some requirements to use a web page or Java service. So for that advanced level things, we need to do some R&D. Or you guys can raise the service request.
How is that?
Yeah.
But have you ever done kind of a thing like we open a particular form based on a link?
No. In a BI, we haven't done till the date. We haven't done these things.
Like if I click on invoice number, it opens it. So these things have to raise this up.
So normally to set the navigation to specific dashboard levels, report levels, we have to use these options, navigate to BA content. So in a BA content, these all are the objects, dashboards, summary reports, or specific page, or individual dashboard itself. So it will ask for which contents would you like to navigate. So I am going to select the detailed reports as a navigation. Okay. So I am selecting these detailed reports. Now let's go to the result sets. So now you can see the link, action link is visible on the span column. If you click on this column's value, it will ask for this navigate to detailed reports. Click supply span details. So I selected for the supply allied manufacturing. So it will, in a detailed report, it's only visible allied manufacturing as a supplier. Now, anyone can tell me how it is filtered automatically?
Will it prompted?
Yes. We have set the filter as is prompted. So from the parent reports, all the filters will be applied to a child level reports. That is the reason we need to, it is better to use the is select as is prompted instead of using any hardcode conditions or specific values. So, anything? Any questions?
If I want to exclude amounts in foreign.
Now let's create the dashboard. Let's create the dashboard. Let me finish. So again, we have options called dashboard here. The other options is also there. Let's create the dashboard prompt. To create the dashboard prompt, it will again ask for the subject area. We need to use the specific subject areas. Payable invoice transactional log. I'm going to use this subject area. Okay. Now defining the dashboard prompt, click on column prompt. Normally we are using as a column prompt option. So I need to select the field as columns, like year, quarter, month. Again, while defining the prompt, we have multiple operators or as a user inputs. How going to user have a multiple options, like how user select the values from the LOE. So we have a choice list, slider, checkbox, radio button, list box. Okay. Let's select the choice list. So using a choice list, user have a facility to select the multiple values. Okay. Now what is a limited value guy? Anybody has explored this option?
Any kind of dependent parameter?
Yes. Suppose I'm going to define quarter prompt, so I need to use limited value by year, right? So quarter's value will be this limited by year based upon the year prompt value. For the year, I'm not selecting any limiters. Or we have options called default selection. We can use any default values. I'm using 2015 year as a default for the year prompt. So I'm setting the default.
I just wanted to ask one question here.
Yes.
Can I just go to edit for the same prompt, or say a
Yes.
supplier prompt? There is an option to select default selection, right?
Yes.
So say I want to add a variable with SQL, like all the suppliers which are having category as say contractors or something. So we go to default selection, then go to default selection LOs. So we have SQL results, right? No, SQL results. Like,
Yes, yes.
so here, can we directly
Here we need to write the logical SQL, not
Yes.
physical SQL.
logical SQL? So that means that which you showed in the advanced tab, that kind of
Yes.
SQL we
Yes.
have to write. Okay.
To generate the logical SQL, what you need to do, just go to the analysis, select the specific subject area,
With the filters.
and drag and drop the columns in a criteria selection tab.
Okay.
So, and then go to the advanced tab, and then copy the logical SQL and paste it in.
Okay. Got it.
This is for to set the prompt as a mandatory. Requires user input.
What is the last option? Set a variable.
This is for the advanced level, where there is a variables available in a BA. So this will be used for that only.
Okay.
So variable part I am not going to cover at present. So now let's add the quarter. So normally each subject area will have a time dimension, right? So I am limited by years. Okay. Now let's rearrange the column prompts layout. So here we need to select these options in a horizontal or vertical. So this way we can make the horizontal view. Okay. Now, whenever user select any values, filters value. If user do not want to apply the buttons, reports output will not get refined. So for some lazy users, we can remove the apply buttons. am lazy. These things can be done from here. Okay. So apply button, just disable it. And setting here prompt is mandatory. This prompt is developed using the table subject area, so that's why I put the name as a table prompt. I'm removing this title. And let's set the year as a mandatory prompt. Verify user inputs. So user must have to pass the value for this filter. Otherwise it gives the error. See. Doesn't it will not reflect. Yeah, it will reflect on the dashboard. Okay, so dashboard prompt is defined. Now let's create the dashboard. So again it will ask for the folder names where you are going to save the dashboard. Now I'm giving the name as a dashboard table analysis, table demo. I'm saving this dashboard under the So share folder, all these contains nothing but it called as a catalog. Okay. So I'm selecting demo folder. Yeah, dashboard का folder visible नहीं. Visible. It's not visible. I'm putting this location. Now just expand the shared folders and add the reports and prompts in this page. So let's add the table prompts and summary reports inside it. You can name the page name from here, from the dashboard properties. rename the page name. And here also links related to like edit, refresh, export. So just enable all this link from here. Normally, for the end user, while giving the access, we are not enabling the edit access. Once a report is developed, we are removing the edit and analyze first two options. And then select run one. Report is visible. We can increase the size of the graphical views, tabular views, dashboard page. You can remove the collapsible option. This is the alignments. Horizontal alignments. Left, vertical alignment, top. Same, we are going to see that for the other report also. So you can see this left side. Now let's set this look at quarters. So as soon as I select the quarters value, report's output will get split without applying the apply button. And it's needed. Here is required.
If you make it no output, I don't know what it is. But if you make it mandatory,
Yeah.
it doesn't give the error, it just gives a message with no data point. That's why
We can export the output into an Excel, PDF, PowerPoint. So this is the way we can export the output. Here there is one more option is there. Here we can see the at the top below the reports there is the sections called filters. Right? These filters will be visible over here also. These things can be done by this way. I'm going to show you. So here there is a view called filters. Just add this filters view over here. So you can see the filters parameters value. So at present this report's filters is this, like invoice purchase order is not null, witnessing it is this. Okay. So this is also visible at the dashboard level also. The year is equal to 2015. Right. Now let's test the any detailed reports. ABC Consulting. In this report, we can add the filter to ensure that report is giving the output as per the filters value.
Maybe the amounts are not telling because the filters are different.
I removed that two pages. BU condition. So that's why it is required. You can cross-check the conditions in summary and detail. This report, this is for all the business units, but summary reports output is filtering based upon these two business units. So you can identify the issues, data mismatch issues. Yes, what is your? पहले क्या था पूछ रहे थे कॉलम का
हाँ अगर किसी कॉलम में मुझे कोई मेरा बैलेंस लाइक कस्टमर के बैलेंसेस में निकाल दो और अगर वो जीरो है मुझे उस कॉलम में चाहिए नहीं उसके लिए क्या फॉर्मूला यूज करना
सेट द फिल्टर अमाउंट इज नॉट इक्वल टू जीरो
और अपने जो
अमाउंट होता है रिसीवेबल अमाउंट राइट इन योर लिस्ट सो रिसीवेबल अमाउंट सेट द फिल्टर एज अ रिसीवेबल अमाउंट इज नॉट इक्वल टू जीरो सिंपल और
याद आया तो कुछ अच्छे से याद नहीं आता
ये ओटीबी जो हायरार्की हम लोग सेट करते हैं
हाँ
वो शो होता है
which type of reporting hierarchy
हाँ जो वैल्यू सेट पे हम लोग हायरार्की बना रहे थे
This accounts की hierarchy.
that is again customization
प्रॉपर्ली नहीं
the things I think these things can be done through the customization right
नहीं कस्टमाइजेशन नहीं उसमें कैसा है कि जो अपना जीए का चार्ट वाला वैल्यूशन है उसके दिखेगी
वो तो इनबिल्ट जो आएगी जैसे कि कुछ सब्जेक्ट एरिया में इनबिल्ट है
जीएल की सब्जेक्ट एरिया
जीए वाले सब्जेक्ट एरिया में है बाकी मैंने देखी मैंने
हाँ उसमें मैंने यूज किया है वो ड्रिल डाउन का ऑप्शन आता है बट वो जो डाउनवर्ड ड्रिल होते ही नहीं
इसके अंदर
जीएल की समझ
समझा नहीं मैंने तो उसमें पैरेंटल नीचे एक्सपांड हो जाना चाहिए
मतलब फाइनेंशियल के जो में वो सब्जेक्ट है वो चलते नहीं
कौन सा
फाइनेंशियल जीएस बैलेंस शीट
वो एक लेवल तक ही
this subject area is from the Oracle BA application
चेक कर सकते
ये उसमें ये नहीं होता
this belongs to Oracle BA application only
किया नहीं
this is not related to OTBA currently this instance is a OTBA instance
जिनमें भी लास्ट रियल टाइम में वही कर रहे हैं अपने
जो अपने रियल टाइम
we need to use the real time subject area only
if you have the BI apps license then you can use other subject areas that are available
अगर बीआई का अपन ने लिया
अलग से license
like this see this one so this subject area will have a data this subject area belongs to OTBA
एक चीज पूछ रहे हैं if you go to here search okay no the second add one more subject area
okay
so now here if we add say one more logical one say one more of GL so automatically
metadata में logical if there is a join behind the metadata pre-built join here then and then it will be visible and use the correct output otherwise it's required customization efforts and we don't know how to do the customization at present.
At the most, what can happen is suppose you have taken up to subject area and you find that there is no error, but it is just not showing the data. Then there is a prefix available. There is specific code that Oracle has provided. If you put that
No,
code in the advanced option.
that you are talking about that is a bug. But his question is like there is a subject area called receivable and another subject area called inventories, right? And he wants to do the join between those two subjects.
That all depends on the पीछे join है तो data आ जाएगा नहीं तो सीधा नहीं मिलेगा.
तो एक्सेल का जैसे पहले फाइंड करोगे डेटा कहाँ से मतलब join
वो हम सीधा नहीं देख सकते.
If there is an inbuilt join is available,
even एक्सेल का जैसे फाइंड आउट नहीं कर
तुम
सकते
सीधा नहीं पता कर सकते कि join है कि नहीं. तुम तो SQL query लिखोगे भी ना. It will just giving you कि भाई ये टेबल से मतलब ये एनालिसिस से मैंने ये पिकअप किया. It will not give you the details कि बैकएंड में join है कि नहीं. क्वेरी में दिखाएगा ज्वाइन किया है उसने, ठीक है, बट डेटा नहीं आएगा, क्यों? बैकएंड में ज्वाइन नहीं है।
तो कुछ है उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने में?
अगर नहीं है तो नहीं है।
GL
अगर नहीं है तो
specific. I think this subject area will contains the hierarchy. See, this is the hierarchy. This is pre-built hierarchy.
The time period में
Balance and segment. What is the reason? Top level. This is the second level.
ये enable करने के लिए पहले कुछ प्रोसेस होता है, that you have to run. वो रन करने के बाद यहाँ पे OTBI में enable होगा. Directly यूज नहीं कर
कौन सा प्रोसेस है?
नाम है डॉक्यूमेंट जैसे वो दो प्रोग्राम मुझे एग्जैक्ट नाम याद नहीं है।
दो प्रोग्राम।
बस दो प्रोग्राम करते हैं उसके बाद enable हो जाता है. So you can use it. और this drill functionality is more useful in the time, तो time segment आता है ना पीरियड वाला, उसके अंदर आप लोग सीधा year select करो, फिर then you can drill up because that's a seated OTBI में available होता है. But
see, basically, as per my experience, this hierarchy is not much useful for the end users. What is a useful? Summary report and drill to detail reports. That is only useful. In a detail level, again, we can set the multiple levels. Right? There is a one parent report, summary reports. Again, it contains the second level child reports, third level child reports. So that's why we are not doing the implementations.
ये दो की बात करें, आकाश, ये दो।
XML भी extend और आगे दो नहीं है।
उनके लिए सबको पिक नहीं है।
One more thing, you talked about the cross-subject area reporting. इसमें एक और option available that is the union functionality, union and interaction ऐसा करके कुछ एक functionality है जिसके अंदर if suppose we have two subject area, suppose I want to get the accounting details journals of two different areas, one is payable, the other one is receivable. Now access the report doesn't have any specific journal, but I know that the columns that I'm going to take up will be having the same kind of data type. Suppose the first column is my date type. If you are taking two subject areas, you put a union over there. Both the subject area should have the first column as a date type, second one should as a text type, third one as a number type. In that case, you can club two subject area even if they do not have any linkage between them.
Column should be matched.
Column match होने चाहिए. Data type के column match होंगे ना. जैसे examples था, मुझे देखनी सारी JVs देखनी है. For all applications, there is no specific subject area other than GL. GL में से exam होगा तो मुझे कैसा GL के subject area देखनी है. But from there I cannot get the details of the transaction. क्योंकि मुझे ट्रांजैक्शन का डिटेल भी चाहिए जो जीएल सब्जेक्ट एरिया में नहीं है. सो व्हाट आई डिड इज मैंने किया पेबल्स रिसीवेबल्स फिक्स्ड सबके अंदर से मैंने ट्रांजैक्शन की सब्जेक्ट एरिया लिए. ठीक है, एवरी ट्रांजैक्शन सब्जेक्ट एरिया हैज गॉट अ जर्नल का सेक्शन उसके अंदर. अकाउंटिंग सेक्शन होता है, अकाउंटिंग एक डायमेंशन रहती है. ठीक है, उसमें से मैंने जर्नल्स की डिटेल उठाई. मैंने चूज किया सपोज डेट ऑफ पोस्टिंग, डेबिट का कौन सा अकाउंट था, क्रेडिट कौन सा अकाउंट था, अमाउंट कौन सा था. दीस फोर कॉलम्स आई चूज फ्रॉम ऑल द सब्जेक्ट एरिया. तो सीक्वेंशियल वाइज हर एक एप्लीकेशन का सारा डेटा आ जाएगा इवन इफ दे आर नॉट हैविंग एनी जॉइन.
मतलब जो भी फिल्ट्रेशन दे रहे हैं वो सेम होना चाहिए सब.
अगर डेटा टाइप अगर सेम होगा तो सारी कॉलम्स मल्टीपल सब्जेक्ट एरिया में से भी ला सकते हैं. और वो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि इंटरेक्शन करके चेक कर रहा है. सीक्वेंशियल मैनर में पहले इस टेबल से लेके फिर इस सब्जेक्ट एरिया से लेके फिर इससे लेके
जब डेटा आएगा तो एक बेसिस पे आएगा या फिर
वो तो फिल्टर लगा ले. वो तो वो जो अगर तुम सॉर्टिंग लगाना जो लगाना वो नॉर्मल जो फंक्शनलिटी
है. अगर मैं कोई सॉर्टिंग नहीं लगाता हूं तो एप्लीकेशन के बेसिस पे आएगा या फिर डेट बेसिस पे आएगा. लेट्स सपोज कि एक फर्स्ट स्टेज के ऊपर चार एप्लीकेशन में अलग-अलग ट्रांजिशन तो मुझे कैसे दिखेगा?
वो मैंने चेक नहीं किया कि बाय डिफॉल्ट कौन से आता है. बट दैट इज वेरी सिंपल. इफ यू वांट इट बेस्ड ऑन द डेट टू डेट लगा दे तो एप्लीकेशन वाइज से एप्लीकेशन वाइज लगा दे, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना.
अच्छा, वो सॉर्टिंग अपन वहां पे कर
वो फिर नॉर्मली तरह काम
हां वो
बस तुम मर्ज कर दे एक बार डेटा आ जाएगा. सेम वे यू कैन हैव द पता नहीं दूसरे का नाम मुझे ध्यान नहीं आ रहा है. एक यूनियन है दूसरा एक और सेम फंक्शन इसके अंदर.
हाँ okay, I have some videos also for the summary reports, videos, and other functionalities. Again, advanced.
Permissions and security.
Security. In a BI, there is a 3 level of security. First one is user level. Third one is object level. Object in the sense like catalog, reports, from dashboards. It's called as a catalog level security. Third one is a data level security. So can you give me the brief how you going to implement any security for any existing user, existing project?
Okay, like in TAN we have one of the requirements like some of the reports should not be visible to other person. Okay, so that can be done through permission.
These are the videos I have. If you want, I can share it with you.
So drive now. Okay. So now there was one of the requirements that is some of the users should have only view option for the reports that are developed. Okay, so they cannot have any edit or any other functionality, while the owner may have the other options. Okay. So that is one of the requirements. Second requirement was like some of the report itself should not be visible at all, not just view.
So that's called as a
User security.
catalog security.
Catalog, yeah, object security.
Object security.
Correct. So the first one is something like only view option. So that is one of the requirements.
Read only.
Read only kind of thing. Yeah.
With the full data access.
Correct. And third, we wanted to restrict based on the person's role, like if he is available only for say
So that's
one of the
a
business unit.
data security.
Yeah, data security. That is only 2 business units are eligible for.
For OTBI, I don't know how to apply the data security because data security normally we are doing through BA repository.
I'll give the details on that. See, we have the roles. Based on your roles, the data in the OTBI will be coming up. So if you have access for just one business unit, we'll be able to see the data of just one business unit. So that will never be a concern for the users. Even if you give an access of a report which is having the data of all the business units, but that particular user doesn't have the access of all the BUs, you'll be able to see the only data in respect to the respective BUs. So that security is in it's available. There is nothing to be done from our end. Whosoever logs in, system will take care of the data, what should be seen to it, what should not be seen to it.
So as per user's responsibility, they can see the data, fitness data.
Yes,
Okay.
based on the roles.
So data
Job
security is
role.
built.
Data security is already there. Okay. Now coming to user security, what is requirement for the user security?
Okay. Like first requirement is that this particular report should be only in the visible mode to the person. Okay. So I don't want to select like multiple
options like answer, subject areas, edit options.
Lots
Right?
of options, only view and export. That's it.
So here we have a link called administration.
Yeah. Second important thing was, that any new employee comes, I should not be every time going to permissions and add that this person will not.
So that's user security. So first of all, you have to define the security metrics. You need to define the application role as per the security metrics. And you need to define the users as per the security. I think user is already there, right? With the application.
User is already there. See, I give the example of Kathakul, how to define for Kathakul for such requirements. We normally know that if it's a payment related report, so what we did is we created specific folders and shared folders like payables, receivables, assets, GN, and all stuff. So application-wise, the first folder was that. Under that, there was some segregation. Like in payables, they had invoicing department separate and payables department separate. So we again create the segregation on 2 different folders. One is for invoicing, the other one is the payment. Now the security that we enabled on that was not on the reports. We enabled it on the folders. Okay. So suppose I want to have access for folder payables to all the users who are having the roles. AP payables might be managers, might be supervisors, or might be specialists. So that folder will be available to all the users having that either of these 3 roles. So basically, even if a new user comes in, he's been granted the AP role, so automatically the system will take care of that thing.
So he is talking about this role. You need to define this role. Yeah, BA level, right?
Correct. That's seeded thing. That's available. Role जो होता है वो बना हुआ है.
Seeded है.
तो बने हुए रहते हैं. आपने जिस
But you need to track this. You need to define the.
हाँ ये अपने एक sheet बना के वो बनाना पड़ता है.
This will be useful for the to define the object level security. See, I have objects, right? Various objects, sales revenue, sales order, purchasing. So these are the objects. For the some users, I want to give the full access for all the dashboards, for all reports. For some users, I want to restrict the some reports, right? So this. So first of all, you need to define this matrix as per the requirement. Simple. And this is going to contents in your security matrix. Right? We don't need data security. Right? That is already there inbuilt. Now we need to list out these things like dashboards or specific reports. Normally we are doing the dashboard work. Like sales order analysis have some reports like 3-4 reports, summary report, detailed level reports, or the specific reports. So application role level. So at the top I have an application role. Then next we have a user, and third thing is we have objects. In objects we have dashboards, multiple dashboards. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the catalog. So from the catalog itself, we are going to define the object level security itself. So you can see there is a folder called financials, HR, SCM, right? In a financial folder, again we have multiple folders. So I'm just taking an example of only financial folders. So here permission tabs. Okay. Now application role I already defined in the system, right? All this role I already defined in the system. Now for particular users, like for example Kalim. Now Kalim is a marketing person. So he doesn't need to have access of the financial payables, receivables, right? So what I will do, so from this screen, I will restrict the report access for the Kalim user. So you need to select the users. कोई भी है कौन सा है कोई देखिए यूजर
अंकिता भी होगी सॉरी अनीता
okay let's select the role
accounts payable integration accounts integration
So these are the different users. So let's select any users. For that users, here we need to restrict the access instead of giving the access, right?
Just one thing to highlight. If you notice over here, you see the application role. It's not the external roles. You have application role दिखेंगे. External role जो combination that is based on your जो आपको role assign हुए होंगे. वहाँ से वो external role वहाँ से पकड़ लेगा. But it just identifies the application role.
ये specific role.
हाँ ये मतलब ये specific नहीं मतलब financials के साथ. तो financials में जो normal roles होते हैं ना वही roles हैं.
So I'm assuming this is one of the users. And for these users, I want to receive the output for the receivables and payables analysis.
तो फोल्डर पे जो सिक्योरिटी लगाएंगे वो हम इस रोल के बेसिस पे लगाएंगे.
हाँ फोल्डर में वही रोल के हिसाब से लगाते हैं. और उसमें देख कैसा होगा दो तरह के फोल्डर एक होंगे मास्टर फोल्डर एक होंगे फाइनल फोल्डर which is having the reports. ठीक है तो अगर फोल्डर्स में जाएगा अंदर तो उसमें नीचे दो चेक बॉक्स होते हैं. एक होता है कि जो सिक्योरिटी कैसा करना होगा जैसे जो मास्टर फोल्डर है मास्टर फोल्डर शुड बी एक्सेसिबल टू ऑल काइंड ऑफ यूजर व्हिच आर हैविंग एक्सेस टू द फोल्डर्स अंदर तक. ठीक है लेकिन हम लोग क्या करेंगे वो जब एनेबल करेंगे ना वो आपको दिखाने मतलब वो ऑप्शन आएगा तो हम बता देंगे.
So this is the marketing users, and I'm restricting the access of the financial dashboards. Okay. So we need to restrict the access. Just select this no access. So marketing, these users will not visible, will not able to access the financial dashboards or reports. So this is the way we apply the permissions or set the catalog and dashboard level security. Okay. This is the object level security. Okay. Now second thing is I told me that there is options like user can't explore any subject area or any other options like edit, analyze. Okay. So these things we need to do from the administration level. And there is options called manage privileges. Under the manage privileges, again these are the objects. These are the BI dashboards objects like dashboard, answers. Okay. So if you want to restrict the access of the subject area, you need to disable the access of the answer for specific user or application role.
This BI author, BI consumer, these roles are auto.
These are the default. These are the default.
These roles are seeded application roles.
Correct.
Okay. And when you see any of these application roles, जो अपने other application roles जैसे accounts payable manager हो गया या GL manager हो गया, accountant हो गया, these roles inherit the BI consumer role. Indirectly, हर user को BI consumer पे लगी रहता है. And if you are granting someone these application implementation consultant या administrator वाला, तो BI administrator करके जो role है, वो inherit हो गई है. That is the reason for all users who are having any of the roles, they see the BI option. BI option by default आ ही जाता है उनको. हम चाहते हैं कि नहीं दिखे तो भी दिख जाए. That is inherited in other roles.
ऑप्शन नहीं है टू हाइड.
निकाल सकते हैं हम लोग यहाँ से, पर उसके ऊपर impact कैसे होगा तुमको पूरा structure define करना
Simple.
पड़ेगा.
I'm making simple. I'm making very simple. As I explained, there is a marketing users, right, and there is a financial user. I want to restrict the access. So that's why we can restrict the set the security for the objects for dashboards or reports. Second things we need to restrict. Again, we need to restrict instead of giving the access. Okay. For marketing users, I do not want to give the access for the subject area. So here I have answers. Okay. Just click over. This is the default. This is keeps everything is default. So don't worry about default. Okay. If you don't know anything about consumer or author, don't worry. Here we need to add the marketing users. Simple. Because it's very confusing. Accounts. So I'm selecting this marketing user, set the permission, delete. So just to remember simple things, we need to restrict the access to set the to implement the catalog level security. That's it.
So the answers basically govern which all options, like access to answer when you say so. Access to answer in the sense, what does it?
By default, a user will have access.
Okay.
We need to restrict the access.
Okay. So if you don't give this access to answer, then they will not have the BI access.
Okay.
And if I just want to give the
And
export,
this is specific for dashboard.
okay.
So normally all user have access on the BI dashboards. And okay, and these are the advanced options: delivers, administrations. To complete read-only access, let me show you. I have some. Connecting real-time environments.
Okay. So इसका मतलब ये कोई स्पेशलिस्ट है होता है इसका कॉन्स्टेबल स्पेशलिस्ट तो उसको BI ऑथर का रोल मिलता है.
Specialist को BI ऑथर का मिलता है BI कंसल्टेंट रोल.
और अगर कोई मैनेजर accountable manager. So उसको भी BI also
by
default
author, administrator, consumer. Administrator what I know.
Till date, I don't know what is consumer, what is administrator. Don't worry about it. It's because it is very confusing.
स्क्रीन के ऊपर
And we also don't need to know this, what are the pre-built roles and their functionality.
जैसा भी आपने एक्सेस अभी विड्रॉ किया ऑथर में से तो वो कौन से
नहीं ऑथर से नहीं किया, वो यूजर को मैंने वो स्पेसिफिक यूजर से डिनेट किया एक्सेस आंसर का.
अच्छा बट वो तो रोल लेवल पे किया ना आपने एप्लीकेशन अकाउंट जैसे अकाउंट्स पेबल मैनेजर पे किया है
डिनेट किया. I'm just clicking over here because I want to show this pre-religious access windows. Okay. So for this application role or user, I'm denying answer access. For the account payable manager, answer access is being given. Simple. Clear? Traverse मतलब तो user can navigate to subject area or edit mode, but can't save.
Cannot save.
Cannot save. That is a meaning of traverse.
Read can
Read only. User can't see the subject area or edit options. That's only reading.
data report run करके उसका data.
See, I'm logging with this Julie. See, user don't have any options like analysis. Okay. Even he doesn't have any link over here.
reason
Remove. Just remove. Because it is a requirement. Only read only. Only read only. Now again in a dashboard there is options here. Right? Edit dashboard. It is also read. By default any user will have this access. Save customization edit. That's all. So again user have only read only. Here there is no any edit option.
So this is changed at the user level or role level? User level.
Yeah, these things I have done from that administration manage privileges. Dashboard level security, you know, right? From the catalog, individual folder level, you can restrict the security for the application role or users. But in again at dashboard level, there is a multiple options. So this user can't able to see any subject area, or can't edit the dashboards or reports, or can't edit the any like other options. Delete. So this is done. So WebLogic user. This is the admin user. X16. And this is done through administration link. Okay. Go to the manage privileges. In manage privileges, see. I denied the access for the access. But for the dashboard, I have given the access. Again, manage dashboard. I remove these options because using these options, user can edit the dashboard. I will share it this screenshot if you want to implement. See, this is again access catalog. User can't able to access the catalog folder. So basically, this is done through the application role level itself instead of the user level. On a catalog security, I have done through the only catalog, application role level itself. So I have these options. So individual folder level, you need to navigate to individual folders. So see, since marketing users can't access the procurement spend dashboards, no access. Or custom. Okay, so that's it from my end. And Ankit.
Okay, any questions?
छोटू
Okay.
मतलब कॉलम्स में मुझे ऐसा ऐड करना है कि एजिंग्स ऐड करनी है फर्स्ट टू 30 days, 30 to 60, 60 to 90 and more than 90 days. तो उसके लिए कोई स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मूला या फिर इसमें कंडीशंस को बेस पर?
You need to have technical skill. You need to have a technical design skill. That's it. You know the columns, right?
Right.
Using which columns you are going to define the bucket. You are talking about aging bucket.
Right.
Like 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, more than 90. Which columns you are going to use?
Like जैसे
due date.
Due date.
Right. Now using due date, how are you going to define the formula? Define the bucket.
Greater than one, less.
Do the self-study. This is going to be a self-study for you.
But do we have a list of expressions like you used by and all this stuff, right?
Huh?
Do you have a list of expressions like by?
No, there is no ready-made any expressions.
Okay.
Like defining the
No,
buckets.
like
There is options where in a column level there is an edit formula, right? Under the edit formula, I'm just giving the hit. There is a various options. There is a various functions all over. Using that functions, you can achieve this.
और जो डिराइव कॉलम्स में बनाऊंगा उसके बेसिस पे मैं ग्राफ भी बना सकता हूँ.
ये डिराइव बनेगी.
हाँ, ये डिराइव बनेगी, बट उसके बेसिस पे मैं ग्राफ भी बना सकता हूँ.
Yes.
ठीक है, मैं शाम तक बनाता हूँ. नहीं बनता तो आपके पास
Raise the ऐसा.
आप बना देना.
okay. Anyone else? Okay, I thank Mayur bhai on behalf of everyone and also Akash for his inputs as and when required. Okay, so I'll end the session now and hopefully Mayur bhai will be sharing the user guide, right?
User guide, I think you have, right?
I have.
Okay, next week I'm going to share.
Okay, so by next week most probably you'll get the user guide and I've recorded these sessions, so I'll be sharing the drive. On the drive I'll share this session recordings as well as the videos which will be given by Mayur bhai. Okay? Okay. Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone.